Hello, my language learning friends. Hello, my traveling friends from all over the world. I want to talk to you in today's video about Guangzhou, this area where I live, because for the past few days I checked myself into a hotel in Guangzhou. I wanted to go deep on my next language learning card game and get some solitude to do that. And I've spent just a little bit of time on the streets, not too much, because again, I've been focused on my creative projects. But I want to share with you what I've felt, and I want to record even for myself, sort of the vibe of the place. So I'm in a district called Huadu. That is a northern district of Guangzhou. And in short, the vibe is good. The area seems pretty busy. There's a lot of people, a lot of activity, even late at night, but the people seem pretty relaxed. And I can't even complain about the weather these days. You know, Guangdong and Guangzhou is usually oppressively hot and humid for most of the year, but it hasn't been that bad recently, and I'm not sure why. It's actually been fairly cool and even, dare I say, a little bit drier than normal. People are out. People are enjoying themselves. And what I have seen around this area where I'm staying now, keep in mind I'm kind of staying in a place where there's actually a lot of hotels around. Sometimes you get into certain sectors of a city where, you know, there tends to be a certain kind of thing. So I've noticed there's actually a lot of big hotels kind of around the hotel where I found. So this is maybe, maybe what I see around these hotels is geared towards that and geared towards, people who are traveling in for work or holiday or whatever. Because what I have seen, for example, is there's a lot of massage parlors. I don't know if that's what you would call them, or massage shops. People in China, I guess generally, but especially I've seen this a lot in the South, is they love to get foot and back massages. So I see a lot of those types of shops around. When you walk down a street, just about 1 in 10 shops or 1 in a dozen shops is going to be a place where you can get a massage. And what you'll see is people sitting with their feet in buckets of hot water, usually with ginger or mugwort herbs in them, and they're getting a back massage. So their feet are soaking in the hot water, the herbal water. They're getting a foot soak and they're getting a back massage. And then once their feet are warm and clean, they'll turn around and recline and get a foot massage. And these places will also clean your feet and cut your toenails. It's a little bit disgusting. I mean, it's a little bit disgusting. I can feel how you may feel about that. I mean, Westerners may not really be that used to that, but I've gotten used to it. I don't mind it. Now, my feet are actually fairly clean, so I don't really avail myself of that kind of a service. I'm in it for the massage. And massage is a super healthy thing to do. If you have the chance, even a few times per year, do it, because it's going to revitalize you. It's going to bring you new energy. So I see a lot of massage shops. There's a lot of Cantonese dim sum restaurants, and this is another thing that I love, because these restaurants, their style, I don't know if you're familiar with Cantonese dim sum style, but dim sum is a type of, it's a way of eating, really, where you get to sample a lot of different small dishes at once. So if you go out with a group of friends and family, you're going to be able to get maybe three dishes per person, or even 4 dishes per person if you're really hungry. And so the table, like if you had a group of 4 people, you might have 15 dishes on the table, or even 20 dishes on the table if you're all adults and really hungry. You can get fried noodles, fried rice. You can get all sorts of different confections. There's different soups. There's spring rolls, dumplings. There's all kinds of different things. Actually, most of the things I can't eat because I'm a vegan and I don't want to eat meat. A lot of the dishes have different types of meats. There's different types of organ meats and all, fish, all sorts of things. But for me, I usually stick to like fried noodles, maybe some sorts of different sorts of buns. Some of these um, restaurants, they also do more typical fried Chinese dishes. So they'll like do both. They'll do Cantonese dim sum, and then they'll do like home style dishes. So that's kind of cool, I guess. You can get whatever you want, in the same, either one in the same place. But sometimes I think that leads the food to be a little bit more mediocre and average when the chefs try to do everything. Rather than focusing on something and doing it really, really well, they spread themselves too thin. But anyways, the most important thing about these restaurants is the tea. There is tea service at the table. So when you go in, you can choose a tea. They have different sorts of whole leaf teas, and they have all the tea set paraphernalia stuff that you need to prepare it. In some places, the waitresses or waiters will prepare the tea for you constantly throughout your meal. Whenever they come by, they'll keep it going in the correct way. They'll steep tea, serve more tea, steep tea, serve more tea whenever they're walking by your table. But in a lot of places, you just do it by yourself. Now, the tea in a lot of restaurants, I count myself as a tea connoisseur. I really love tea. So a lot of the tea restaurants I find, actually their tea is not so good. And I think that's a shame because Cantonese dim sum culture is world famous. And the people here in Guangdong love it. But I guess a lot of them are really in it for the food and not really for the tea. And a lot of guys drinking the tea kind of drink it like maybe Westerners would just drink soda. They're just guzzling it. They don't really even care about really what it is or what the quality of it is. They just want a hot tea beverage that's going to help them feel relaxed, maybe help them with digestion a bit. Some teas I can recommend in these places that you really can't go wrong with would be chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum is chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum is chrysanthemum, I've found. Here's a bag of chrysanthemum tea I got at a dim sum restaurant recently, and I enjoyed discovering that they had Cantonese language written on the sides of their tea bags. So I got a little chance to practice my Cantonese there. But this bag had a lot of chrysanthemum tea inside, and this could really be for a family or a big group. So I just needed a little bit of it in my little teapot to get a good flavor, and I saved it, and I've been having a little bit over the course of days. I've been enjoying it, actually. There was a lot of chrysanthemum tea in there. Chrysanthemum tea, I think it tends to be pretty cheap, but it's good, and it cools the body down. Another tea I can recommend is the Yin Hong Jiu Hao, and that is a black tea from Yingde, and that is very popular in this province, and that also has a very standardized high quality. That said, these types of teas are not really my favorite. My favorite is a high quality oolong tea. But so what do we talk about with the massage parlors, the massage shops, the dim sum restaurants? I want to talk about the street food, because I've actually found some of the street stalls, street carts, street vendors, whatever you want to call them, they have some of the best food. And this is why I think a lot of expats will agree with me. We hope the street foods, we hope the food streets in China don't go away. You will see this happening in a lot of cities. As the cities develop, food streets tend to get extinguished, demolished, in favor of more typical restaurants where you go in and sit down. And I just think that's a shame, because the street foods are amazing and very cheap. People, they drive up to the street, on the side of the street with their little cart, and they've got everything they need to fry you up some noodles or some rice or make you a soup. There's some carts sell drinks, some carts sell like confections or different types of like, what do you call it, like boba tea or milk tea. It is awesome. And like I went to this one guy twice because he made amazing lo mein, basically fried chao he fen in Chinese, fried wide noodles. He made the noodles in less than 3 minutes. He fried them in the wok. It had sprouts, hot peppers, garlic, oil, sprig onion, little salt, little soy sauce, pile of noodles. He mixed everything in, step by step. The heat was going high and he was keeping that wok moving, and he was putting it into my little to-go box. I counted in just about 3 minutes. So it's super cheap, super fast, super hot, usually very aromatic. So the street foods are off the hook. And what's really crazy is sometimes it's a little dangerous to be out there because you're like in the main roads. They come sometimes pretty far into the roads with their rows of street carts and street stalls. And so people are walking around getting food late at night from these carts. They're walking, get a little bit from this cart, a little bit from this cart, a drink from over here. They're piecing together a meal, and all the while cars and electric scooters are whizzing by. Now, I wanted to film more for you about what's out there. I wanted to show you more about what's out there, but I don't know. I feel really weird about showing other people on camera without their permission. And I don't really want to get into conversations with people asking for permission to film them. That's something I don't really like about a lot of vloggers, is how they're just filming everybody all the time. And maybe people don't really want to be on camera. These people are out there working by themselves or with their husband or wife, or maybe with their kids. They're just trying to, make a living. And I found the people to be really friendly out there, really kind, eager to make conversation with me, shocked that I knew some Chinese. When I would speak just a little Chinese from them to order something or buy something from the convenience store, first thing everybody would say, "Oh, you can speak Chinese. Your Chinese is so good." And if we kept talking, they would ask me where I come from. I would ask them where they come from. How long have you been living, working around here? What do you do? Do you speak Cantonese, as opposed to Mandarin, because I'm usually speaking in Mandarin. But the mother tongue of the people around here is Cantonese. So there's been some language practice, some language training, and all of those conversations really reaffirmed my hope and faith in humanity. The housekeeping service, the room keeper, the lady who comes to, change the towels and take my trash away, whatever, in this hotel, she is super kind. She's a local person. She says she doesn't live far away from here. We had some great conversations. So it was very inspiring, very relaxing, my time here. Like I said, I came here for about a week to put in some deep work on my language learning card game, heading into Language Land 2. If you want to see how that's going, just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got a playlist for this game, and we use it online every Saturday with players from around the world. You can come out and join us. We're playing, the events are free and open to all levels. But at the end of this video, I just want to encourage you to get out and experience a new place. Sometimes a new place doesn't have to be very far from where you currently live. There's a old Chinese saying, I believe, and it says something to the effect of, I can travel the world without leaving home, or something like that. Or I can explore the world, or no, there was like a short little parable or a short story, and it was so cool. The author is describing all these different things that he did and learned, and then at the end of the poem, he reveals that he didn't even make it past the end of his hometown street. So the lesson is, if you really pay attention and you really connect with people, you don't have to go very far to have an amazing adventure. I'm not staying very far from where I actually live, but to me it feels fresh because I really pay attention to the people and connect with them. So I hope what I have to say gave you an insight into China, Guangdong, Guangzhou, Huadu. The district I'm in is Huadu. China is the country, Guangdong is the province, Guangzhou is the city, Huadu is the district. It's a northern district of Guangzhou, and I hope you got a little bit of the sense of the vibe here. I'll see you back here in the next video. Thanks for watching.